great honor. We have Grandmaster Paulo from Jiu-Jitsu here in Texas for the first time. We're going to ask him some questions about his life, his nutrition, and how he got to the red belt. Mr. Paulo, it's a great honor to have you on an interview. Thank you very much for your time. First of all.
O prazer é muito grande. E eu tenho prazer de estar nesse ambiente que eu adoro. Eu estou em casa.
It's a big pleasure to me as well. It feels really good to be in here in this environment. I feel home.
Thank you so much, sir. You received your black belt in 1954, correct?
Você recebeu a faixa preta em 1954, está certo?
No.
No.
Dia 20 de agosto de 1958.
August 20, 1958.
1958. So you have been practicing Jiu-Jitsu for 7 years now, correct?
Acho que faz 70 anos.
Eu comecei aos 9 anos de idade. Hoje eu estou com 70 anos.
I started at 9 years old, and today I'm 79 and 70 years of Jiu-Jitsu.
That's amazing. Can you share with our readers how you're able to stay so active at your age? And because, honest to God, you don't look like a 79-year-old man. You look like somebody 20 years younger than that. You look like somebody who will beat me up.
Ele falou, como é que o senhor consegue ter tanta vitalidade, se sentir tão novo, que você não parece que tem 79 anos de idade nenhuma, você parece que tem 20 anos menor. Qual é o seu segredo?
Meu segredo é levar uma vida regrada.
My secret is to have a very focused life.
Praticando esporte.
Practicing sports.
Principalmente o jiu-jitsu.
Especially Jiu-Jitsu.
Porque o jiu-jitsu é uma filosofia de vida.
Because Jiu-Jitsu is a way of life.
Então, quando eu comecei no jiu-jitsu,
So when I first started to train Jiu-Jitsu,
as dificuldades eram tremendas. Hoje, com a evolução do esporte,
when I first started, it was really hard to train. But today, with the sport evolving so much,
eu estou feliz porque eu vim acompanhando os envolvimentos.
I'm very happy to see that because I've been following this since the beginning until.
That's amazing, sir.
Somebody.
Talking before you came to Texas, I had asked you about the FADA challenge at the Academy of Guido Gracie. Were you there, or do you know any people that were there? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Ele falou que quando ele falou com você antes, ele perguntou a você ao respeito da luta do FADA. E o senhor estava lá na hora quando a luta aconteceu?
Eu não estava, porque a militar estava em quarentena. Quer dizer, 40 dias antes de sair do quartel.
I couldn't be there because I was a military man and I was in a 40-day release. You know, I had to stay 40 days in the army before I could go, so I didn't have the opportunity to go.
Mas eu tenho detalhes sobre quem quiser saber.
But I got plenty of details and
Any
stories to
anecdote
let
that
you
he
know.
wants to share, we would love to hear right
Qualquer
now.
coisa que você gostaria de dizer, qualquer história que você conseguir falar, eu adoraria ouvir.
Eu estou muito feliz porque está me proporcionando a falar sobre um assunto que é muito importante no jiu-jitsu.
I'm very happy that you made this question because it's a very important chapter of Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil and in the world.
Thank you.
O professor Valdo Fada
Our master teacher of Valdo's father
morava no subúrbio do Rio de Janeiro.
was a resident of the suburbs of Rio de Janeiro.
Numa região carente, como tantas outras.
A poor area like a lot of other ones in Brazil.
E eu, por ser de uma família muito humilde, morava também nesse local.
And me, from being from a very humble family, I used to live in this area as well.
Quando eu era criança, nós ainda tivemos a época de brincar na rua, de aproveitar a segurança que nós tínhamos no Rio de Janeiro.
So when I was a kid, I still had the opportunity, to enjoy the streets and walk around and still have a little bit of safety in Rio de Janeiro.
Como os meus pais eram pobres, eu não tinha Natal, não tinha festa de Natal, não tinha nada.
Because my family was very, they have a lot of money, didn't really have the opportunity to have Christmas parties or any holidays, like that.
Quando chegava essa época natalina,
Whenever the Christmas would come by,
as crianças de melhor poder aquisitivo
kids from better families
recebiam os presentes jogar futebol na rua.
It was very common to, like street games.
Geralmente, os que ganhavam a bola eram muito ruins na prática do futebol.
And usually the one that owns the ball is the one that doesn't even know how to play that well.
Então nós montávamos uma equipe e outra equipe e botando sempre o dono da bola numa das partes.
So we always would separate, the two teams, and the owner of the ball, would always be, choose on one side.
E como eles tinham pouca habilidade, nós botávamos lá bem frente à linha de fundo para que não atrapalhasse a partida.
Because they didn't have a lot of technique in soccer, we always try to put them in the backfield or in the side field so they don't mess with our game in the middle.
Mas acontecia que eles começavam a reclamar e diziam, eu vou embora. Aí eu dizia, pode ir embora.
And then they would start getting mad that they're losing the game, and they'll start to say that they're going to leave and go home. And I say, you can go.
Mas a bola fica. Não, eu vou levar minha bola.
No, but the ball is going to stay. And they would say, no, I'm gonna. So they would say, I'm going to take the ball.
Aí o que acontece? Acontecia que já estava em desacordo. Aí começava a brigar.
And then one thing will lead to another, and you start arguing, and that's what happened.
Então, às vezes era uma criança grande e às vezes batia na gente e ele levava a bola.
And sometimes the owner of the ball would be a big guy, and he would end up beating us up and taking the ball anyway.
Mas na maioria das vezes, eles não eram tão felizes. E nós, além de eles deixar a bola, nós levávamos as coisas.
But sometimes, they won't live so happy, besides leaving the ball with us, he will go back home a little beat up.
Então chegou um dos garotos carentes como eu, dizia, Clécio, o professor Fada ensina a brigar.
And then one of my friends, a friend that I had, came to me and said, Del, there's a master Fada, and he can teach us how to fight.
Então, vamos lá, vamos. Então nós íamos todos. Na hora da aula, nós ficávamos de fora olhando a luta, o treinamento.
So we'll go and watch the training, like we'll go to the gym and we'll start watching, but we always watch from the outside because we can really afford to train.
Porque não podíamos pagar a academia e o professor Fada, permitia que nós ficássemos só olhando. Porque, inclusive, nós ajudávamos a limpar alguma coisa para justificar nossa presença lá olhando.
We couldn't really afford, but we'll be around the gym, and Father would always allow us to be around and to be able to watch, even though if we're not training. And he always tries to help out and help to clean the gym and do things to help out.
E com o decorrer do tempo, quase que periodicamente, eu e outros lá, vários amigos, estávamos olhando a luta.
Time will pass, and me and a couple, friends of mine, we always be there and always been watching, the fights.
E quando nós estávamos aprendendo, dia surgiu a oportunidade de aprender a aplicar o armlock.
And one day we started really training, and for the first time I had the opportunity to practice an armlock.
E a nossa ansiedade de ir para a rua para procurar uma briga, para poder constatar que
and as you walk out of the gym, you'll be crazy, like ready to get into the streets and get in a fight with somebody just so you can try it.
Então começamos a luta, uma briga. Os mais antigos, você quer brigar? Quer. Você quer brigar? Quer. Então os dois iam para o centro. O pessoal ficava ao redor como sendo tatame ali na rua.
And then one person will turn to you and say, like, oh, you want to fight him? Yeah, you want to fight him? Okay. And then we'll make a circle, and two people will go in the middle. That's in the streets.
Então o mais velho, que estiver presente, cuspia no chão.
And then usually the oldest one that was present would spit on the floor.
E quem apagasse o cuspe estava xingando a mãe do adversário.
And whoever would sweep that spit off the floor would be giving like a bad name to the other ones.
Like excuse.
Like like excuse to fight, like like
Like
pass this line, like
pass this line.
E a mãe da gente, por ser muito importante, muito a coisa mais cara que a gente tem, a mãe da gente, aí o Paulo comigo.
And for everybody, of course, but in Brazil, the name of a mother is something very important. It's something that, like you have a lot of sacred, you have a lot of respect. And when somebody talks about your mother, then the fight will start.
Então, ninguém ia se meter na vida, só os dois brigando. Então,
yeah, but nobody would interrupt the fight. They would just be watching, and the two in the middle would be fighting.
Então, peguei o garoto na roupa dele lá e fui. A minha maneira, imagina, naquela época, peguei, derrubei e montei.
So at that time, we engage, and I end up taking him down in a mountain.
Então eu tinha que procurar o braço dele. Eu puxei o braço dele e veio. Então eu apliquei o armlock. Quando eu apliquei o armlock, ele começou a chorar. Ele não sabia que tinha que bater. Então o que estava, o árbitro, digamos assim, disse, pede arrego. Aí o cara disse, arrego, aí eu soltei.
So at the time, I was in the top in the mount, I was looking for the arm, and I saw the arm, and took the arm for the first time and pulled my first arm bar. And the other kid, because he didn't know how to tap at that time, there was no tapping or anything like that, he would start crying. And then somebody that would be on the outside, on the circle, that was kind of posing as referee, would say call uncle, call uncle. And then he would do it and the fight would stop.
O garoto saía chateado e eu me senti o rei da cocada preta, o rei do momento, estava vivendo um momento de glória.
And this kid ended up going home really upset, and I felt like so great, because it was a moment of glory. It was like my first arm bar.
Falar que isso tudo acontecia com todo mundo, que não era só o senhor, e que era assim. Muita gente não fala, mas era assim.
Eu era um dos que estavam ali. Agora eu estou sendo sincero. Então por que beleza? Porque essa é a realidade.
I was a part of that, and I'm trying to be sincere with everybody because this is the reality of it. It could be like something I'm trying to tell you, like another story that would be more, but that's how it started. It started in the streets. It's a different time period of life.
Different mentality.
That happened a lot more.
Because in Brazil, this is normal for us. If you have a problem, so if you have a problem, you have to fight for fix it. Fight
I was already looking at Jiu-Jitsu as a way of status, like as a better position.
E a coisa foi se desenvolvendo e nós íamos lá também, íamos à academia e dia o padre falou, vê se você se matriculam na academia.
One day I came by and the father turned to us and said, hey, why don't you, engage in the gym, why don't you come and be a part of it?
Mas eu sabia que lá em casa o dinheiro era muito pouco.
But I know that back home, didn't have a lot of money, my parents couldn't really afford it.
Eu nem falava com a minha mãe, na vez que depois eu ia para o professor Padre, minha mãe disse que não tem dinheiro.
But I would not even ask my mom because I knew that she wouldn't be able to afford it and she would say no. But I would go back to the gym and I'll tell father that I talked to my mom, but she said no, she couldn't afford it.
Então o padre falou, então manda sua mãe adquirir kimono para você.
So tell your mom to go buy you a gi, go buy you a kimono.
Olha, eu não tinha dinheiro para pagar a academia, eu não jamais pensava em comprar kimono.
If my mom couldn't afford to pay me to go to the gym, I would not even ask her to buy me a gi.
Aí quando eu falei com ele, ele disse, então manda sua mãe providenciar 6 sacos de farinha de trigo, alvejado, e traga que eu vou fazer um kimono para você.
So that's awesome. So Dell comes to me and he says, so if your mom can afford to buy you a gi, go get me 6 bags of wheat and bring it to me because I'm going to make you a kimono.
Ask your father to make your first kimono.
Então, quando terminava a aula, o padre ia para a garagem da casa dele, tinha um monte de papelão, botava o saco aberto, e saia com o papelão profundo.
So after the class, he would go home and in his garage, and he had like the paper cuts for the mold of the gis, and he would go there and cut those bags.
Wow, you had a template already.
Tempo muito rápido. Aquelas máquinas antigas que faziam uma barulheira do pedal, máquinas barulhentas.
Back in the time when the sewing machines were like really noisy and you used to have the pedals and everything.
E me deu o kimono.
And he gave you that.
Eu vesti o kimono e fui pra casa. E dentro do kimono, que abri a casa, aí uma meia hora a pé.
You were 9 years old, right?
Que kimono. Claro que
Quantos anos você tinha nessa época? Era...
então, eu daria de kimono para kimono para casa. Claro que era cheio de carinho, polícia brasileira, tudo azul, tudo vermelho, uma linha pendurada aqui, outra ali, kimono toda, a faixa toda da bandeira. Claro que eu devia estar muito exótico, eu estava delícia.
So whenever he gave me that gi, I put that gi on and I walked all the way home wearing that gi. It was half an hour away from my house. And you looked at me, and because of the bags of weed and stuff, we have like stamps in the gi from the bags, and we had like a piece of string coming out on this side, another one coming out on this side, but I was so proud to wear that.
Our sponsors, man. Our sponsors.
Claro que quando eu dou essa declaração, quando eu sou entrevistado, normalmente um entrevistador acredita, eu estou muito agora. Graças a Deus, mas é uma prioridade. Só dá valor, só entende valoriza, tem que ter foco.
Like usually when I tell the story to people, the first action that you see, it's a smile, it's a laugh, and that's understandable. But just the only person that understands what that means is whoever been in there and whoever been poor and didn't have it and couldn't afford it, and now you're able to, to have your first gi or something that
Mr. Dale, that here there's a perception that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was an art kind of reserved for the upper classes. As part of like the white kimono was to symbolize this is what purity and a man in the business suit. So to hear that somebody would do something like that for a student who may or may not have promise is amazing. So it's not so much laughing as it's like joy to hear that happens.
Está dizendo para o senhor que ele quer dizer que a gente já ouviu muitas vezes que o Jiu-Jitsu, que começou muito pelos gays, que é uma família muito influencial, muitas pessoas não podiam praticar o Jiu-Jitsu, porque era só para a gente rica. Por isso que eles usavam o kimono branco, tentando mostrar uma forma de mas o que ele diz quando ele riu, ele não está rindo da história, ele está sorrindo por escutar essa história, entendeu?
Eu entendo, eu só quero ser realista. Eu sempre repetindo essa mesma atitude dessa vez, mas eu não posso dizer que estou rindo.
I understand what you're saying, and the only thing, the reason I say that is that I want to be realistic, and I wanted to never forget the story, where I've come from.
Thank you so much.
Então está aí no início do Jiu-Jitsu.
And that's my beginning of Jiu-Jitsu. But if you know anything else more, he's here, to talk to you. So after the second hour, we'll talk a little more.
Well, we're here at Ron Ulis Machado. Can you give us your address if somebody's in the Austin area and they want to come visit? He's going to be the official host for Master Dale whenever he's in Houston, in Austin. So,
yeah, we at the Undersea, and we have two gyms. We have one in PK, Ron Ulis BJJ Academy, and we have a big gym, and we always have so many classes: Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, boxing, kickboxing. It's a Rubicon fight sport. The Undersea is 28 at 2508 South Congress. It's a big gym. We have a cage. We have everything. He's ready to offer everything. If you want to train Jiu-Jitsu, we have a self-defense program. If you want MMA, we have so many professional guys to teach MMA. We have a kickboxing, boxing, and we have a catch wrestling too. So the program is really, really good. When the customers, the students come to the gym, we try to make these guys be busy all day. We have so many classes and so many fun programs here.
Well, we're about to kick off the first Red Belt seminar ever in Texas, Master Dale. It was a huge honor to interview you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure is mine.
And Tiago. Thanks, guys. Sorry, everybody, for keeping you.
Okay, guys, one more time.